Please trust that you will never hear me talk about dancing dolls ever again in life, ever. Please, okay? You will never hear those words come out of my mouth ever again. Don't worry.
It is too much drama going on in the D4L. It, too much. Too much. If you would have told me Miss D and Camryn would have felt out, I would have been like, no, I don't see that. But too much. Too much. For those that have wondered what I am talking about, Camryn on a recent episode of the Encore, I think it was the season finale, if I'm not mistaken, they brought up the Textgate situation on Bring It. Kayla and Camryn talked to Michaela about the situation with the whole text message situation, and Camryn gave her 2 cents, and Kayla gave her 2 cents. Camryn was the more vocal one in the episode. Camryn was basically saying that she felt that it was Coach D's fault. She felt like Coach D should have never brought the situation onto TV, even though it happened off camera. She felt like she should have handled it off camera. That was Cameron's point of view. Camryn also brought up the fact of, she low key doesn't want to be part of, like, in Miss Diana's shadow about the whole DD4L. She doesn't really want to do with Dancer Dolls or Bring It as a whole. She wants to be her own individual. Now, Miss D got word of this whole situation of Camryn, the episode. And did Miss D come for Camryn specifically? No, she just explained that because Camryn brought up the word tradition, and she was like, technically, if we're going by tradition, in her videos on TikTok, she was like, if we're going up tradition, technically, we don't even do stand battles. We only did parades. She also broke down the whole Textgate situation with the whole production. Did ask her, would it be okay for Princess to lead the team since, her storyline is, a dancing type correct couple to Bring It. And I guess Miss Diana thought that, she said yes because she didn't think it was going to cause any problem. Well, she was wrong. It caused a lot of emotions to the point not only Princess got, talked about in that group chat, Miss Diana made it clear that they was calling her a stupid bitch. Yep, one of them said, that stupid bitch. Miss Diana also brought up in her videos that she did not feel that the girls were bullies. She expressed that to be a bully, it has to be a consistent thing, which I agree with her on that. To have a bullying situation, it has to be consistent. That is true. But she did feel like what the girls did were wrong. And at the end of the day, she had to, sympathize with Princess's feelings because Princess was dealing with a situation, you know, from her past team. She even took accountability about breaking tradition by bringing somebody that didn't even live in the zone of Mississippi that lived like 3 hours away. When Miss Ayana started doing her, talk about the behind the scenes of what happened at Textgate, then that's when Camryn was like, she's done with Dancing Dog. She won't never think about that. She'll never, Then here come Mimi being Mama Bear doing too much, like how Camryn said on the show that she be overdoing it sometimes, and she most definitely did. And here's my full thoughts on this whole situation now that I broke it down. So let me start here. I am on nobody's side. I'm not no team Miss Diana. I'm not team Camryn. I'm not team nobody. What I am going to say is this. Everybody had every right to have an opinion about the situation. Now, my thing with Miss Diana is I felt where I didn't really was not feeling what she was saying is the fact that she was like, why did Brandon TV talk about this situation? Da, 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 da. I mean, it's content. It's reality TV. If it's viral, and it was viral, like the in the majorette, Bring It, TikTok scene, that Michaela and Princess situation went viral because guess what? The girls are growing. They want to tell their stories. If the girls want to do social media, people are going to ask questions about the show. They're going to answer. That's just part of what you do when you're on reality TV. Like, hey, it is what it is. It brings the views. So no, I don't feel like Camryn was wrong for expressing how she felt about the situation. That's what she did on the show. Her and Kayla expressed how they felt about the situation. There's nothing wrong with that at all. However, Camryn, where you lost me at is you was like, I don't want nothing to do with Bring It, Dancing Dolls, blah, blah, blah. Because you kind of said that on the show. And my thing is, if that was truly true that you felt that way, you would have never done the encore. Because the Encore, I'm gonna be real, Brandon TV would have never contacted you if it was not for the associated to Bring It and Dancing Dolls. I'm gonna really be honest. In other words, girl, I don't care if you mad at Miss D. You go be D for life. The fuck. I also see that fans, in my last video of, the Encore, everyone was like, oh my God, Camryn finally finding her voice. You ain't watched the show. Camryn been had a voice. Camryn been off the chain the whole season. Y'all just saw that she just threw a ass at somebody. And now some people like, oh, it's scripted because Camryn's smiling. Camryn is a smiley person. Like, Camryn be irritated and she be smiling. Like, she is very smiley. I do get that. Like, I understand what they are saying. But when I look at Camryn energy, she even cries when she smiles a little bit. Like, even when she broke down about the situation with her mom and her dad divorced, she was kind of semi-smiling and crying. So no, I don't think this is scripted. I feel like when you're doing a family show, you have to be authentic and true and raw. And Camryn still stands on a point, even with the whole her mom story. She was mad at her mama, said that she was heartbroken that Miss Diana didn't come to her graduation. Camryn was like, I didn't give a damn if she came to my graduation or not. And that's the one thing about Camryn. Camryn will be like, Mama, you care too much about these people. Do you not talk to them like that? Okay, they're coworkers. I fuck with Camryn for like bringing her mama back to reality. Like, girl, you care too goddamn much about certain things that if you was going through something, they would not give a damn. As for the whole Textgate situation, I kind of already got my thoughts on the situation, but now that I know that Miss D did have control over, of the situation, I don't think she had ill intentions. But again, hey, stuff happens. Stuff happens, and I feel like Michaela had the right to feel any type of way, but Princess will had a way. And I feel like in my other video when I talked about the whole Princess and Michaela situation, Princess, Princess was like, I'm that girl. I'm that girl. And I feel like even Michaela said on the Encore, that pissed her off. Like, that was like, she felt the way about it. Like, okay, I was like, okay, calm the fuck down, okay? Chill out, because I'm not beefing with you, but we can get there. Like, calm down. It kind of sucks that Camryn and Miss D fall out. I hope they can make amends one day. Maybe not this year. Maybe let it cool off next year. As for Mimi and Miss D, they did not like each other. Like, their friendship been dead since Bring It. Because even when the scenes with Miss D and Camryn, she was throwing shade at her mama. When Mimi in her confessional, she throwing shade at Miss Diana. Like, they don't like each other. Like, and that's the one thing. I feel like they only kind of semi-dealt with each other over the years because of the respect for Camryn. Now that Camryn don't even fuck with Miss Diana either, it's like, girl, fuck you. On Mimi's end, like, girl, I've been with to go beat World War II. I don't like you. I can't stand you. Camryn also brought up in a YouTube video, like, she was like, it was very weird that Miss Diana brought up the whole, copyright situation with the whole dancing doll situation. She said she had nothing to do with that. Whew. I don't know anymore. And I feel like the reason why Textgate is such a big deal is because that is the only episode where you saw the girls' flaws. No other episode you really saw a flaw. You saw their mother's flaws majority of the season. But that was the one episode that highlighted the ladies' flaws. And I'm not gonna keep it. I'm gonna really be honest. When it comes to Brandon's TV version of, I guess it's called the Dolls. The Dolls, they showed all their flaws. It ain't no in between hiding cracks. No, like, they show the jealousy, the hatred, the favoritism on that show. It is just like, ooh, see, Bring It didn't do that. Bring It protect those girls for real, for real. So I want to end up my video off like this about, the whole Camryn, Miss D situation. I really wish we could stop talking about this Textgate situation. Like, let's move on, because Bring It overall changed majorette scene. It was a awesome, positive reality TV show for little black girls, minus the mama drama, but that was like, like, it really wasn't that bad compared to like how Dance Moms, it was like a little bickering towards the mamas, but that was really about it. It really was a positive show. But it sucks that the legacy of Bring It and like the legacy of Dancing Dog is going down the hill because everybody is falling out with Miss Diana. Like, I don't know. But comment down below how you feel about this whole situation. Are you Team Camryn? Are you Team Neutral like me? Are you Team Miss D? I am over. We're bearded up. Make sure you comment, like, follow if you're on TikTok, subscribe if you're on YouTube. Bye. Bearded up.
Sorry, guys. I'll be on TikTok. Y'all gotta see me on TikTok. Yes, guys. I tried. Okay. Calm down. for the episode, right? At that time, for that particular scene, especially with the hike, I had reached a breaking point. My name had been involved in so many different things, and I never took the chance on my own to speak up for myself, okay? Because if you know me, you know I'm the type of person where it's just like, you know what, I don't want to feed into it. I want to do more than what's already being done. I just want to let it go. That's it. But just so happened I had reached a breaking point, okay? And I just said what I wanted to say. I just said F it and said what I wanted to say. Of course, I tried to keep it respectful, but at the end of the day, everybody that had everything to say about me and under the sun for years, okay? And the one time, and yes, I mentioned it, the same thing I said on the show, I mentioned it on live as well. Yes. Like, I don't know, y'all. I just don't want people to be out here, you know, saying that I'm rude and disrespectful and trying to, and not grateful for everything you've done. That's not even the case. What are you talking about? I just said, those messages would have never been in the group chat at all if it wasn't for particular decisions that were made in the dollhouse. That's it. But you know what? It's okay. Because honestly, it's over with, it's old. I can't afford to care about nothing from 10 years ago. I can't. I am so ready to move on with my life, and yeah, it's always something. Oh my God. Like, I don't know. But just coming on here, okay guys, to let you know that I'm not trying to be disrespectful to anybody. I'm not trying to ruin anybody's peace and sanity, okay? But I don't do that back and forth stuff. I don't do that online subliminal stuff. I don't have time for that. I don't care for none of that. So I'm gonna just stop that right now where it's at right here. Thank you. Thank you. Goodness gracious, y'all. I don't do